We making money. Bicep over tricep, guys. We killing it. We absolutely killing it. I gotta get the dance on, man, because Palantir, we made all kinds of money. We made insane money, okay? I'm super pumped up, guys, because we're about to get even richer. Look, Palantir recorded quarterly revenue surpassing $1 billion, guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I've been in this stock since IPO. That's why I'm hyped up, because you're about to make even more money going into the future. And I have some very important information, which, I'm a little bit out of breath, but we got to talk about, okay? 48% year over year growth on Palantir, okay? On record quarterly revenue. It's their first time ever exceeding $1 billion, okay? Now, I think that the haters are really feeling the pain right now. And I told you guys this stock was going to make a lot of money. And this is pretty much because that US revenue has absolutely taken off. The US commercial revenue nearly doubled. That is specifically the strongest metric that Palantir has experienced, with 93% year over year growth to $306 million. And US government rose 253%, or by 53%, to approximately $426 million, totaling $733 million in total sales. So we are taking off, and what I personally really like about Palantir, and why you should absolutely get ready for the money dance, okay? Get ready for the bicep over tricep money. Get ready, okay? Because I think what's going to happen is not only is revenue going to continue to skyrocket. Like, I don't even know how urgent this information is, guys. It's clear, like, clearly, look at what's happening right now pre-market. We're at $170 per share. The reason why this stock is going to be a $1 trillion stock, I think within 18 months, okay, maybe 24 months. We got 2 years. That's a whole lot of money to make. That means you can literally multiply your money, okay, multiple times potentially. What's going to drive that is revenue and profitability. Look at profitability. They reported adjusted operating margin at around 46%, with adjusted free cash flow of $569 million. CEO Alex Karp, he called the results phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He was basically at a loss of words. He was like, we're making money like no other, right? And he added that skeptics have been bent into a kind of submission, all right? So I kind of like this, because he's kind of having that mental warfare. He's like, listen, I know what I'm doing. And all the haters, go over there. I don't even need you as investors. I already know what I'm doing. We're crushing on commercial, crushing on government. So he knows what he's doing, and he referred to this quarter as a once in a generation, truly anomalous opportunity, right? Or anomaly, right? Anomaly means something that rarely happens. Now, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just the guy on the internet that's been invested in the company since IPO. Alex Karp did go to my high school, actually. But when I feel like I see a good opportunity, I tell you guys, I tell you that this is an opportunity that is worth investing in. And if you look at the massive market cap surge, now Palantir has surpassed IBM. It has surpassed Cisco. It's now headed towards a $400 billion valuation, right? We're currently at, we're probably going to open up at 380 billion plus when the market opens up, probably end of the day. However, of course, I'm very bullish, but also we did see what happened with SoFi. We had a huge rise, a little bit of a pullback, rise and pullback. We're going to get a volatility, expect volatility. The stock market is still unpredictable, right? We're still working with a volatile stock market. All right, I want to go over the technicals here. I think that's really important. I want you to understand what's going on with investor psychology, because Palantir, there has been a lot of analysts that have been saying that, there's overcrowding in the stock. And I was comparing Palantir to, actually, I was running my boot camp, which I no longer have. I'm not doing any more of those. I just have my Discord community now where we're making crazy amounts of money. But let me get rid of this. I was comparing to AMD. I was also looking at Tesla as a comparison, as a comparison here. So let me get rid of that. Now we just have Palantir. Look at this chart. I mean, absolutely beautiful. The chart right here, we're at 160, but we're about to open up at a whole new level. And the volume has not been that high, right? There's been consistent buyers in Palantir. There's just been, institutions buying, retail traders buying. Everyone's kind of, just jumping into the stock slowly, right? Here we saw massive selling pressure. But again, no matter what selling pressure you have, when you have a strong business, and we're going to talk about moat. We're going to talk about moat in this video. You guys know I like to do deep breakdown into the company's fundamentals. We're going to do that in just a moment after the technicals, but the technicals are like this because of the fundamentals, okay? So they kind of go hand in hand, like this, right? So technically right now, we're still in a bull trend. We're in a massive bull trend. I expect the volume to pick up right now after earnings. A lot of people are going to realize, whoa, what am I doing? Palantir's PE is super high, but clearly they're doing something right. By the way, the PE, I just want to point this out. If you think Palantir has a high PE, you're a noob at investing. I'm sorry, but you don't know how to invest properly. It's not PE, which is dangerous, okay? It's future cash flow and where PE will be in the future. So it's like saying, Bitcoin is expensive at 10,000, right? But clearly it went a lot higher, right? For, good reason, right? It's becoming more useful, it's becoming more popular, and crypto just in general gaining lots of value. So same thing with Palantir. The company continues to win government contracts, continues to generate crazy revenue, has a very bright future, has consistent cash flow, has crazy government contracts. So when you look at the PE, it's not really an issue because just look at this, man. I just want to point this out. I just want to put it down here on the table. I want to lay this down on the table. The current PE is 700, but the forward PE in 12 months is 285. Like if just do the math, we're going down in PE by less than half in just 1 year. So if it halves again, it's going to be like 140. If it halves again, it's going to be 70. If it halves again, it's going to be 35. So this company is growing so fast that of course the PE ratio is going to be high. The PE ratio doesn't even matter for Palantir. Like don't even be looking at the PE ratio. Amazon had 1,000 PE ratio. Tesla had 1,000 PE ratio. PE ratio doesn't matter for the super high growing stocks like Palantir, right? I'm taking a look at other factors, and to me, the valuation is fair. It's fair, given profit margin continues to grow, given that revenue continues to grow, given they have a ton of cash. Like, I like the CEO a lot because he knows how to execute, but he also isn't bloating the company with just a whole bunch of debt. So that's why I think the stock will be a $200 stock pretty much this year. I think we can get to $200 this year. Now, I want to talk about some of the strengths that Palantir has and kind of go deep into the research, which no one's really going to be covering. So when it comes to their government moat, it's still very dominant. So long-term defense contracts, including the 10 billion US Army deal, provides really unmatched durability. There's virtually no competitors. No real alternatives exist with Palantir's scale. Security clearance, that's a really big one, right? Obviously, government wants to have a secure company. And hybrid AI deployment stack. So this is why the company is going to be a $1 trillion company, because there's virtually no competition, right? It's not always about having the business that is popular, because when there's a lot of competitors, okay, I mean, you could be a very popular hot dog stand in New York, but there's just so many hot dog stands. It's hard to, obviously they can make good money, but it's hard to like make crazy money. Crazy money really happens when you target a new opportunity and you're early on a trend, and then you dominate there, right? And kind of like monopolistic behavior is what contributes to a company making insane amounts of money. And to me, Palantir exhibits monopolistic behavior, and governments obviously try to break those type of companies up, but that's not the case for Palantir, right? They just exhibit monopolistic behavior, and they're going to dominate and crush and make a lot of money. So that's like one of the big reasons. Now, I also want to address AIP because enterprise AI that doesn't really require engineers is what's so revolutionary about Palantir, what people still are not really wrapping their minds around fully. Example is basically Palantir's AIP or AI platform lets non-technical users create and deploy intelligent agents with zero code using natural language. So this is different because other platforms like Snowflake, Databricks, or Azure, OpenAI require developers and data engineers to operationalize AI, whereas like Palantir kind of dumbs it down and lets anyone do it no code. No code is powerful, very powerful. So with Palantir business operators, like logistic managers, doctors, supply chain heads, I mean, you name it, right? They work with every single industry you can imagine. They can now deploy real AI in real time without having to have prompt engineers. This saves a lot of costs and it kind of democratizes the accessibility to AI. Right? Just simply said, democratizes AI to all the employees of companies. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just going to be a game changer. It's going to continue to be a game changer. Now, look, software plus services at scale is also part of the reason why I think we're going to get to $1 trillion. So an example of that is Palantir embeds engineers directly into customer operations. So, hospitals, airlines, military bases to build bespoke data workflows. And this is unique because most software companies, they really just sell tools. I mean, most companies they sell tools, but Palantir, they don't just provide the embedded integration or ops level customization. They're really kind of like around the whole entire process. And this hybrid model, a platform plus deep consulting, Palantir was kind of more, it was doing more, like a lot more consulting. I actually personally got Palantir wrong. I've been invested since IPO, and my community has we made this type of money. You are in a hand over fist, bicep over tricep money. But even I at first was kind of like, well, maybe it's going to be kind of like an IBM, kind of like more on the consulting side. But this company has really transformed into something strong, which is platform plus deep consulting, and that's a moat in and of itself. So clients like BP, Ferrari, Airbus, they rely on this hand in glove execution, kind of like a white glove service, and it's worth a lot of money. It's worth a ton of money because of the ease of the implementation. Okay. Now, another reason why, and I just have a lot of reasons, I'm just hitting you with knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. If you're taking notes, just really try to digest this. I know I'm going a little bit higher end here, but the continuous model that they have for updating from real world feedback is really remarkable. So Palantir updates models based on real-time operator feedback across millions of edge deployments. So it's like logistics coordinations in war zones and stuff like that. It's very, very it's just so innovative. It's almost insane. It's almost insane how innovative they are. But the reason why competitors struggle to even, compete with Palantir is because most LLMs are just trained statistically and fine-tuned offline, whereas Palantir integrates human in-loop learning. So they're actually like taking from live missions. It's like some sci-fi stuff. It's literally like sci-fi stuff. And that's why they're going to continue to scale massively. It's because they're just so ahead of the competition, right? If you look at something like Tesla, right now, like I'm traveling in Eastern Europe, right? I permanently basically live in Europe, and I'm traveling in Eastern Europe, and I see a lot of Chinese vehicles, some that I don't even know, like new vehicles that I haven't seen before, right? And Tesla no longer has an edge in the, huge edge in the market. Palantir is kind of in that early stages where Tesla was. It's just like people, governments, commercial sector, they're just like, wow, no words, just wow, I need this. And once they get in, of course, sticky as heck. You got sticky like super glue, right? Once they're in, they're in. They have a huge contract, and then they're gonna be continuing to regain those contracts in the future because they're sticky. Once they're in, you pay a lot of money. You can't really get out. So I had this stock for a long time. I still plan to hold. Let me show you my position here. Portfolio doing very good, by the way. Very, very good. We've been having good performance, very good performance. Despite the pullback, I actually performed very well. So if you guys had a little bit of a negative week last week, you guys following the wrong YouTubers, or you have the wrong coach, because I've had really good results. I've been actually hedging. I kind of predicted that we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. So last week my performance was flat despite the market pulling back 1.5%. So yeah, it's been a very good market. It's been treating us very well. So if you're making money, congratulations. It's a really good time to be an investor, to scale your wealth, and to achieve big results and get to that steady cash flow per month that can take care of you. Palantir, I still got a whole lot of shares, 2,600 of them. I got almost $500,000 in Palantir. I'm thinking about potentially adding more. I just don't really have any cash right now to do so. So another thing that I wanted to mention, the last thing, I think one of the most important things is my focus on the story is very important, because I think that's what sets me apart from other investors, is I really understand the story of where the CEO and the management wants to go. Understanding that long-term picture is what helps me pick better stocks. That's also why I believe I have the best information amongst all YouTubers, and my long-term track record is really proven, because I don't just take like a short-term view. I really want to see, where is this company headed in the next 5 years, and why is the CEO going in that direction, and is the trend in his favor or is it not, right? Because obviously there are CEOs that are really intelligent, they're very smart, but they have a really strong opinion which I may not agree with. So that's also very important kind of analysis that I use. Now, the last kind of point that I want to talk about is kind of like that flywheel. I talk about SoFi's flywheel, but Palantir has like a dual use moat, right? So their moat is like their strength against market forces, okay? So I already talked about my background in management and stuff, but they have a combination of government plus commercial flywheel. So it's kind of like both. Two strong revenue sources, and Palantir's software is used by U.S. military and gets recognition for logistics and supply chain at companies like Walmart or Merck. So they work with the government, but then they get realized from private sector as well. And this really matters because the defense insights inform commercial products and vice versa, right? Like they come up with a unique solution for Walmart, and then the government says, oh, we kind of need something similar. Or they come up with some analysis tool for Raytheon, and then Airbus says, we want something similar, right? So being an expert in defense pays a lot of money, like insane amounts of money, right? So others are, other competitors are just either, purely on the government or purely on commercial, whereas Palantir is like really dominating in both, and they're doing it extremely well. So this earnings quarter has been amazing, and I'm excited for all you Palantir investors to make some money today and for our continued success. I'm going to be doing some more option breakdowns on Palantir as well as other stocks, so make sure that you are subscribed, and I will catch you in the next one.